and welcome to another episode of
Ball Status.
That's right, folks. I'm Doug Miller here with my now very fatherly sidekick, Mr. Patrick Babe.
What's up?
What's up, father?
My name's Dad.
Dad, just call him Big Daddy. This is the Boss Status podcast where we talk about the business of health and the health of business. And this is another episode of the Ask the Boss version of Boss Status. Oh, good. I like that. I thought you were going to go with like something.
Meat Brigade!
No, wrong one.
Gotta go back through these.
Yeah. So that is where you guys submit questions, and I will do my best to answer them. They can talk about business. They can talk about fitness. They can talk about health. They can talk about life, and anything you want to talk about, we can talk about. You can send your questions. So POV, why don't you, for the YouTube version of this, put it up right here, like something like asktheboss@corenutritionals.com, something like that. And submit your questions there, and we will get those questions. And we will answer them on the next episode of Ask the Boss, Boss Status.
Nice.
Did I cover that? Did I do like a good?
If you want to watch some good episodes and you want to see some ranting questions, some juicy stuff.
These are good ones.
Back in like 2020 when the world was starting to go,
Oh, yeah.
we was talking about some crazy stuff.
It was
So
good.
if you want to ask some crazy stuff, this is the place to do it.
All right, let's get in here. It's feeling cold today.
Yeah.
Thank you, American Energy, our sponsor. Today we're doing Blue Valor. What are you doing?
Damn it.
That was good.
We weren't synced. Freedom. Now, do you freedom often?
Dude, not as much as I used to.
You want a Patriot Punch like...
Bro, I'm all about the Patriot Punch. Daytona Beach. I think that's my 1-2. And then whenever I drink Victory, I love it.
Question. Did you smuggle them into the Bahamas?
Bro, I didn't have any pre-workout. I just drank black coffee. Because it's usually really good coffee on vacation, so I'm good.
And it's a good opportunity to not, like, you don't really need.
Now, I still took Vigor, Replenish, and Daily Pump as my pre-workout.
Yeah.
But I would drink that with my breakfast while I was eating waffles and coffee. And
Yeah, so it's like coffee here, pre-workout there.
Yeah, it was
food
good.
in the middle.
And I brought my little bottle of sucralose that I carry around with me.
Oh, yeah?
So I don't do Splenda.
Right.
So it's a little, who is it, Joe from AD?
Get some lemons?
Yeah.
Were you drinking lemons?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I carry that little crack bottle around with me everywhere I go to sweeten my coffee. It's great.
Yeah.
And, I don't know why we got talking about that, but no, I didn't have any energy drinks, and I didn't have any stimulant-based pre-workout. And then when I got in here and I was training on, I made a post today how I was training on the Fury and the Daily Pump. Like, holy doo-doo balls, man. Like, past 3 days, like, I was lit, like, on the stims.
For that week break.
Oh, week break.
I didn't really take a break.
You probably were loaded.
Yeah.
Did you just throw your caffeine?
was comforting.
So Patrick had a baby.
Well, Samantha had a baby.
Yeah. You had a baby, too. Yeah,
if I had a baby, that would have been traumatic.
Yeah, yeah.
We were on
out the pee hole?
definition out of the pee hole, dude.
We were talking about
traumatic.
this. Childbirth is traumatic, and Pat, we were getting into the semantics of it. Pat's like, no, it's a beautiful thing. I was like, F that. Something this big is not supposed to be coming out of that. Well, it's supposed to be, but it's not like an everyday occurrence where you're going to drop an 8-pound log out your...
8 pounds. He was 6'4".
Well, still, she got lucky. Man, his mama's dropping.
Yeah,
like
it went
9
well.
pounds.
Sam's still not here. She's going to be gone for a little while, but she's crushing it. And now we're adjusting to this week of like me coming back into work and trying to work all that out. And it's going good.
So how's it been when you got home?
It's been cool because like nothing else matters. Like I stop, my phone goes on the counter, and then like I take over. Like I hold them, and then usually she's like just fed or whatever, so I can kind of hang out with him while she needs to do something, and then I go when he needs to like feed again around like 6:30. That's when I go to the kitchen and I start making us dinner, and then after that we go on a walk, and so like I settle down at like 9:30, I guess, and get back on my phone. So it's been good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm starting to realize that.
I like the break, so I'm usually I leave at 4:30. Literally, I just told Steph that I was going into a podcast.
Hey, man, might be important.
I know.
Kid might be in a hospital.
We're trying to.
Busted chin.
I could talk about what she's trying to handle at the moment, and it was a bunch of bullshit about. Which we can get into that.
People want to hear about this.
Oh man, so she's trying to handle that for us. So I'll have to talk to her after the podcast. But what the heck was I just talking about besides?
Your groove or something at 4:30.
Oh yeah, so and my ride home is where I get phone calls done. So 4:30 to 5 is my phone calls. But then my break is usually like 5 to 8 is usually where I'm unavailable.
Right.
My emails are clean up until then, and then I get back on at 8, and I have like 35 emails. And
I think that timing, like your kids are older, like it'll be easier to have that. Like right now, it's like wailing babies still going on, and so like he was.
Oh yeah, this is usually like dinner and baseball and just whatever they want to get into at the time. So
yeah, it's good though.
yeah. So the crap.
Oh, let's go juice.
I don't know if I should go into this.
We might get sent. There might be like an asterisk on our podcast that says, "Hey, for information, click here." There's still a thing,
bro. It probably. I guarantee.
Anytime it's mentioned on a podcast, like you go to Joe Rogan's podcast, it's every single one.
So can you just can you edit out every time we say the word? Or
record that.
Wait, hold on. Which one is it? Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
Or hold on. Something. No, wrong one. Hold on. Oh yeah. Yeah. Every time we say, you go.
I wonder if that'll matter. Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about. Real.
Well, I don't know because we're trying to handle the situation at the moment. Is that weird? Do I keep people
What's
in
the
suspense?
situation?
Well, so we had basically ended up having to pay $700 for testing
to go to the Bahamas.
Yeah, it's complete BS. So they changed all this crap like last minute, and it was kind of messed up. And then she tested positive when she wasn't positive. It was a giant cluster F. It was
when you got there or when you got back.
Before we left. So we thought we weren't going to go.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was like a 72-hour scramble.
Oh, my God.
And we got tested like all out the wazoo, right? And just like, then she had to go back, and then she didn't really test, and then it came back invalid test when she tried to retest, and then like finally she went to urgent care, and we paid another X amount of money to go into urgent care, and they gave her an antigen test, which was acceptable as well, and that came back negative. She did a home test as soon as she came up positive on the PCR, and it said negative. So then she went to the urgent care and took a physician-administered antigen, rapid antigen. Dude, it's so stupid.
It's so much BS.
Steph's worse than and then in Bahamas, you have to wear a mask. Through customs, in theory, we did not put a mask on, and the guy, they didn't say anything. But everyone else put their mask on because you were supposed to. The airport said, wear your mask. So we're like, forget this. And then on the way back, I had a couple people say to me when I was checking in, you got to put your mask on. I was like, and the guy's like, how's your day going? You know what? I was like, great until you make me put this face diaper on. Doesn't do any good. I just sat here and spat all over you. It's like, this is idiotic. And everyone's got their mask under their chin. So, and then we're up at, so that you don't have to wear it on the airport, but on the airplane, but in the airport in Bahamas, you have to have it on. So, we didn't have it on. And then we walk up to the gate, we're about to step on the airplane, and the guy's like, you got a mask on. The kids don't have their masks, ready or whatever. So Steph's like, just go like this. So the kids are going in like that. They're walking in like this. And Steph's like, I'm not putting it. Steph is worse than me. She'll, hang it on her ear and, walk through. I'll at least maybe double ear it under the chin or something, just because I was because I'm the one who has to deal with, I'm the one with all the passports and all this stuff, right? And dude, it's just, did people stop using their brain in the past 2 years?
Yeah, totally.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So anyway.
It's a weird world out there, man.
Yeah.
What a world. All right. Well, that was a nice little rant.
And my name is Doug Miller, and I am wearing a red shirt today. And my pronouns are he, him. How about you?
I like they and them and
it.
Yeah. Just call me.
Shit, I think we just got canceled. We definitely just got canceled.
Bro.
Well, what? I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I mean, that's important, right? Our vice president, that's how she introduces herself. That's how you should introduce yourself.
My genitalia. Identifies as a penis.
Where are you going?
Oh, I don't know. It's just so stupid.
All right, let's get into some questions.
What?
Oh man, what's a good like?
Oh, bro, we
question
totally messed up. Hold on.
No, how?
Can you get me the? We should be live. Yeah.
No, we don't go live.
Yes, we
Oh,
do. This
go
is
live.
Ask the Boss, bro.
There's the tripod.
All right, we're going live.
Right
All
there.
bro. Hook it up. All right, we're supposed to be live.
So
Oh,
basically,
hold on, let me
these-
flip
the
it.
first 10 minutes can not count if we want.
Well, no, they can
Because we're a
count.
total mess.
Well, it's probably good we didn't put our pronouns on Instagram. Although, you know, there's a space where you're supposed to fill in.
That's where
your
you're
pronoun-
supposed to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yep.
So it is, we're about 10 minutes into, no, we're 11 minutes into the Ask the Boss version of Boss Status that's going down right now. So if you guys have any questions at live on Instagram, you want to throw that up in there? Like that? Yeah. You got to squeeze it on the back. Put your questions in here and we'll answer them. We also got other questions coming here. So we have, I don't know, we can go as much as another 40 minutes here. We didn't answer any questions yet. We just kind of ranted about.
Yeah, we got 40
Bro,
minutes.
give me this.
42.
Oh, you got to squeeze.
42 minutes.
Oh.
Uh,
All right. That's good. That's good. We're good. All right. Me. Let's go. Let's do this.
Let's do this?
Yes.
You want the first question?
All right,
You want it to
first
be like
question, let
good,
it roll.
serious, like or funny, or
No, whatever you want, bro. Keep it coming.
all right?
Or get it going, I should say.
Get it going.
Keep it going. It has, nothing came yet.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is
POV, come on, bro.
all right. Serious question.
Serious question. All right.
Aside from growth, what goals do you have for your businesses? It says business, but Doug has businesses.
Besides growth.
Besides
so
growth.
I think, and we've talked about this before, one of the most important things for me is building the culture and the team and the people. This was actually reiterated with the book that I'm reading right now, which is, you guys hear me talk about Jim Collins all the time, but the final book that I have of his, which I haven't read, is How the Mighty Fall. It's such a negative book that I didn't want to, or title, I never wanted to read it, right? He tries to be, he even talks about as an author how writing it was difficult when he would write books like Built to Last and Good to Great. But the whole point of the book is, what were the mistakes that those people should have seen coming? Or like, what are the warning signs? What are the 5 phases of decline that you should recognize before you get to the 5th stage where there's no coming back? So there's a positive spin so that you don't get there, so you can course correct. Anyways, one of the things they talk about again and again and again is getting the right people on the bus. And when you have a harder time in getting the right people on the bus, that is kind of one of the warning signs in one of the stages of that, where it's harder and harder to get the right people on the bus, and then it's harder to attract more people. So for us, the thing that I am most proud about is our culture. It's very unique. We are our own culture, really. It's different from everywhere else. This doesn't mean it's the right culture. It doesn't mean it's like there is no right or wrong culture. It's our culture.
And there's no best.
There is no best. I hate that. I hate when people say there is no best.
I know, that's why I threw it in.
And, you know, people say, I hate when people say there is a best. Well, I hate when people say that there's a best. You know? I hate when people say that. Anyways.
Semantics again.
Yes. But the fact that we have built a culture built around core values, one of the biggest goals is to continue to grow that culture and the corresponding community with the right people. So besides growth, which I'm assuming they mean dollar value, units moved, something like that. It's building a culture that we're proud of and a community that we're proud of through all these businesses. So I feel like moving to North Carolina has helped solidify and helped us understand our core values more, I think. It wasn't really until we moved down here about a year ago. I mean, we had those underlying core values, but it wasn't until we really solidified them here that we can constantly point to them.
Yeah.
And it makes it very easy to make decisions.
Well, I think, we always talked about it since I've been here, of building our castle.
Yeah.
And this was the first time we actually built something literally from the ground up that is our home. You know, and since then we've just been in, you know, leased rented spaces for warehousing, and we moved constantly.
Yeah.
But now we came down here, planned it ourselves, don't plan on moving, and I feel like that's really why like the core values were like they're etched.
Yeah, because we always felt like we weren't. I don't want to say stable, but we weren't in our home. We weren't in our castle. So that's a big thing. I mean, the growth is interesting because right now, one of the things that I think people need to be aware of, and I can speak to the supplement industry or the retail industry or whatever, is just looking at top line, right? Because right now, you could be up 10%, 15% in sales, right, for the year, but your prices most likely are up 10 to 15%. So does that mean you're really flat, right? And maybe saying flat in terms of quantity of units sold is a positive thing in a period of time when people are buying less. So maybe selling a flat quantity and increasing cost, maybe that is a good thing. Maybe that is good in this time, right?
Yeah.
But it's an interesting to think about when you're talking about growth is that the growth is definitely, you need to be looking at more than just top line sales in a period of time when costs, I mean, shoot, our cost, and we can get into this. Man, I'm just a virgin. I feel like I'm on crack today.
You're what?
I feel like I'm on crack.
Before
we're
that.
diverging.
Diverging. I thought you said, man, I feel like a virgin. I remember my first podcast. Yeah. All right, go for it.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, in a period of time where so our core ISO, for example, our isolate protein has literally gone up now 100% in cost.
It's nuts.
It is nutty. And so we went from selling our 2-pound isolate at $39.99. So if we're going to keep the same margin percentage, we would have to sell that at $79.99. We sell it at $49.99. About to be $54.99. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
But that's nothing, right?
No.
$54.99, let's call it. That is insane. Like, I mean, I'm hoping the milk prices come down, right, at some point, because that's. I mean, we sell so much protein that's.
Well, I got asked that actually earlier. I mean, is there any word movement on? I haven't heard it.
So there is a good thing. So I would say our very premium pre-workouts, totally loaded on the America, the Arms Race, the core side, their costs have gone up 30%, which is huge, right? Yeah. There is promise there because they are heavy in amino, let's call them amino, like ingredients such as a citrulline and a creatine, where those prices went through the roof. And now creatine went to $30 a kilo. Now it's down at $20 a kilo. Citrulline was up to 22, and now you can get it for 14, 15, something like that, right? So,
but protein has not stabilized.
Protein, we haven't seen any of that before. So, it's very difficult. And we were actually having this debate the other day when we were talking about, so we've decided we sell in Europa, which is a distributor, right? So obviously we're going to make the least margin when we sell to a distributor who has to make margin, who then sells to a retailer that has to make margin, right? So we make our least amount of margin when we sell to Europa. We had to make the executive decision to not sell our isolate through Europa because we couldn't.
Right.
We couldn't do it and allow Europa and give Europa, who's a business running, has certain margin requirements. We couldn't get them their margin requirements and still sell it to a retailer to resell the product at $54.99 to the customers or $49.99, right? Like it just didn't make sense. And one of the things to make sense, we would have to price, $3 or $4 a tub higher to the retailer through Europa than the biggest selling isolate that's there, like a huge company isolate, which clearly doesn't taste as good as ours. And I was having, I don't want to say an argument. We were having this discussion in-house of I refuse to cut corners in the quality of our products now more than ever. And some people might think, well, you're not really cutting the corners if you this and that and that. But yes, I am. When I'm drinking a whey isolate, I don't want any carbs and I don't want any fat. I want as little as possible, a gram at most of each, right? There are other whey isolates out there. So ours is like zero fat, less than like 0.5 carbs, 100 calories, and 24 grams of protein. There's a lot of other isolates out there which are, they do smaller serving size, so they can still say that there's 30 servings, right, in a 2-pounder or whatever. But they only have 19 grams of protein to, like, let's say 3 carbs and like a gram of fat. Now, if you scale that 19 up to the 24, that means your 3 grams of carbs for 24 grams of protein now goes to like 4 or 5 grams of carbs for the same amount of protein in isolate. Where do you think those carbs are coming from? Fillers, right? So that product is cheaper to make. And then other brands, and I'm going to do a separate video on this because I think it's really important. Other isolate, which might be slightly cheaper than ours, $5, something like that. They're doing a 1.8 pound, a 1.7 pound, a 1.9 pound, right? Like that's kind of disingenuous as well. It's not a 2-pounder. And so those are 2 corners that we just refuse to cut.
Same time.
So if you're looking at a whey isolate, there really shouldn't be carbs and fat in there. If you want some, an isolate, you're drinking it for the lack of lactose and just that super high quality. If you don't care about the carbs and fat, I'd recommend you go with Core Pro anyways, right? If you can handle lactose, because it's thicker and richer and it has that more milky type taste. But that's not really what you're trying to get with an isolate. And I will say our isolate has actually been known to be very thick regardless.
Yeah.
So the way we make it, it's very thick even with those macros. So that is definitely something that I'm seeing a lot more of, especially in the protein side, and we just won't do it. So we gave up the opportunity to sell our isolate through distribution, which would mean a lot more revenue. But really, at the end of the day, we couldn't make margin at selling it at a fair price to everyone. So we decided not to do it. The alternative would be I could cheapen the product, but we're not going to do that either. No. So anyways, that was a huge
ISO
divergence.
lemon pound cake now available.
Yeah.
Cornutritionals.com.
Get it now.
Yeah.
Use code
amazing.
meat stick.
Don't you love lemon pound cake? You like pound cake? I love pound cake.
Dude, lemon pound cake is great.
You ever have rum cake?
I have had rum cake.
Bro, rum cake, bro.
Dude, how about the pistachio ice cream Core Pro? Though?
I haven't really dove into that one yet.
Bro, it is so good.
I've sampled it. I've tried it.
Dude, we've gone through a lot already. We just launched a week or two ago?
Yeah.
We've gone through a lot.
It's great. Pro is by far our #1 seller. Okay. Man, where do I go from here, Doug?
ISO lemon pound cake is awesome.
ISO
So it's like refreshing, but it's it's rich too, which is
it's not too much lemon either.
No.
I almost wish a vanilla word was in there because it's not
lemon vanilla pound cake,
but it's too much.
Vanilla lemon pound cake.
What'd you say?
Vanilla.
Did you just combine them? Or did you just say it so fast?
Lemonilla.
Lemonilla. Yeah, we'll think about it.
Vanilla and lemon.
Venom. No. Right, anyways.
Venom pound cake. I'm pretty sure that wouldn't sell.
Somebody said, what is your favorite core protein flavor while we're at it?
It depends. Oh, God. We make such good protein.
I know. I feel like with me, it's like if I establish a favorite pretty early on, and then I get kind of stubborn and I won't like even though,
dude, that carrot cake MRP.
Pineapple strawberry has been around for so long, and we've had core ABC, but it's still like my #1 flavor of ABC because I just don't want to come off that.
For me, it's
cinnamon French toast.
Really?
Core Pro, I established as like this is the best protein ever, and ever since then, I just think I should stick to it.
I've been on that carrot cake MRP kick.
Yeah,
it's really good.
I'm excited for maple brown sugar.
I do red velvet
sugar.
ISO in coffee in the morning. I had it like this morning. It's so good.
So you do that.
But there's I should do a video on how I make my coffee.
You should,
because
we got a kitchen.
It takes 1 Keurig, but you got to run the Keurig twice. It takes 4 ice cubes. It takes a special shaker bottle with a vent, so you don't explode it all over yourself. So
a vent.
This
is important
because if you put the ISO on top, should I go through it?
Well, you should do a video.
Well,
You should do it in the kitchen with POV, and we should utilize that.
But I got to bring my shaker. And do we have a K-cup over there?
Yeah, we got a Keurig.
Let me explain the situation here, okay? You ready? So you got to have a vent to let the little air out, otherwise it's going to pop the top. So
you're talking the old school shakers that got a little
tibby.
So that thing's probably
bro,
like
it's
10,
old. It's
12 years
ISS.
Golly.
It's like an oh yeah shaker from like 10 years ago. So here's the thing.
Definitely is tainted.
It's 1 K-cup. I usually like just regular, like a regular coffee or a decaf. Like if, no wonder why I was so stimmed up this morning. What's
going on right now?
So
where am I?
I usually, because I'm doing a pre-workout. So if I'm doing this for breakfast, right?
Yep.
So I'm usually having like a bagel with an egg, right?
Bagel?
Bagel.
All right.
Did I say bagel?
I don't know what you said.
A bagel with an egg and some cheese, something like that. So that's like not the high protein side. So I needed some more protein. So what I do is a single K-cup, usually decaf because I'm going to do my pre-workout, okay?
Right.
You run it through once at 10 ounces.
Okay.
So it's a lot in a full shaker.
So you got that. Does that cure
I
and fix
slip
your
that thing
shaker?
out and I stick it in. Dude, it holds like 60 ounces of water. It's a joint.
So it's up real
Yeah.
tall. All right, anyways.
And then I run it through again. So with 8 ounces. So now I have 18 ounces of coffee in there.
Okay.
In the 24-ounce shaker.
Okay.
4 ice cubes. That's
Next.
very key. Because I don't want to drink iced coffee, but you don't want to curdle the whey. Okay?
Yeah.
This is the thing, right? Curdle. So then you do the 4 ice cubes and then 1 level scoop. And right now I'm on the red velvet kick.
Yeah.
Red velvet ISO.
You used to do this with the pumpkin spice.
I don't have pumpkin spice. It's
I know.
coming back under arms race, I
Okay.
think. Hint.
Hint.
I think. So, yeah. So we got the red velvet scoop on top of the 4 ice cubes, on top of the 18 ounces of coffee.
Yeah.
Put the shaker on. Now, this is very important. If you're listening at home, folks, write this down. So if you shut the lid, you make sure both the vent and the top are shut. 1 turn over, 1 back, open the vent. Because if you just start shaking without opening the vent after the first one, explosion, like bad explosion. So then it's shake, open, flip, let the vent out, shake again, let the vent out, shake twice, let the vent out, shake 3 times, let the vent out, and then you can just, shake it. And then you're good. Okay, so now you got a little frothiness.
Oh, there's more. Wait.
You want a big coffee mug, like a big one.
Oh, we're going into a coffee
You
mug.
don't drink it out of the shaker, you don't get the same experience, okay? So then, once you have that milky goodness coffee juice in there, you open the top and you pour it slowly into a big mug, and then you put your hands around it, you hold it, and it's warm and it's yummy.
Dude, this sounds like a good fall, winter, hot
dude, it's so
cocoa. I just had an idea. Oh, a bro tender series with Doug Miller, where he's making different
Bro, that's the only one I got.
brotinis.
That's the only one I got.
Well,
though.
you're gonna have to come up with some more. We'll get creative.
So that's that.
Didn't we have? Wasn't Courtney Mile once doing some recipes with ABC and alcoholic drinks?
I think so.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I don't know.
It
was years ago.
What are you laughing at, Jay Brute? This is definitely something that you would do.
Totally. He's
You
got
are
the time
totally
for
a
it.
basic bee.
All right.
All right, let's go.
In your opinion, what is the most underutilized vitamin/mineral?
Underutilized. So I would say my favorite is vitamin D3, right? Because I think most people are deficient. It's super easy to take. Most people don't take it. I probably like a vitamin K because, another fat soluble vitamin that's really important. A lot of formulas don't incorporate that, so we put that into our heart formula, the vitamin K, the fat soluble vitamin with a lot of good benefits. So that would probably be one that is probably underutilized.
Right.
But I love vitamin D3. It's the bomb. Put 5,000 IUs on top of whatever else you take that has vitamin D and you're good.
Best stack that includes hollow point.
So I just got finished running what was my stack? I got to think about it now. It was Stabilize His from Arms Race, Full Metal Jacket from America, and Hollow Point from America, and Corbolic.
Yeah, it was super natty anabolic.
Dude, it was good. It was real good. I felt juicy.
Yeah, did you feel strong?
I did feel strong.
Set PRs?
Always fighting for them PRs.
Fighting.
After training for so many years, it's just so if you hit a PR. So I was hitting, maybe a PR once a week or something like that. If you're doing that, then you're doing something right.
Do you ever think okay, with the way you're training now, right? You're
different.
It's a little different, right?
Yeah.
Can you just make up a PR and be like, set a PR? And you're not going to do it I'm going to set the bar low. But
I could.
I never in my life have done this. So it's technically a PR.
Yes.
Yeah. What did you do? 10 sets of 50 or something On the freaking Avenger leg press.
No, I mean, it wasn't 10
10.
sets. It was 4 sets of 50.
You're supersetting that.
Yeah, but on the last set, it was 10 plates. I don't know why I started.
You're all over the place today. It's a good time. That's a good energy drink right there.
See, that would be good. Hollow Point Full Metal Jacket, Liberty Balls. You could even throw in Bollock on top of that. Which, by the way,
and if you're not taking Red, White, and Boom with that stag, you ain't American.
Red, White, and Boom, the reformulated Red, White, and Boom. It's been now a year since we reformulated.
The current version.
The current version is an amazing
really
pre-workout. It's so underrated. It's freaking so expensive for us to make. It's like it's ridiculous. But that's such a good pre-workout.
Pre-workouts used to be like, man, guarantee best margin in your
Not
arsenal.
best margin, but close.
One of them close up there.
Yeah.
And now it's like one of the worst.
Doug, what is your net worth? That's a really funny question. Because were you here when Logan was talking about it?
No.
For some reason, Logan Googled it.
Oh, I actually do. Yeah, I was here for
and
that.
it came back like Doug Miller's worth 35 mil. I'm like, boy, I'm out here. And it was some dude. So like he went to the page. It was some Google page, right? And it had all my pictures. And then it had another picture of like this like 60-year-old dude that did not look anything like me, whose name was Doug Miller. And apparently it must have been him.
Oh, really?
But they somehow Google mishmashed like all my bodybuilding pictures in with him. And then
that guy feels great.
I know, dude. He's like, yeah, take this suit off. This is what I look like. Yeah. That's funny. I don't know why somebody would ask that. But I'm not worth $35 million. If you value companies, but that's just such a made-up bullshit. Like, doesn't mean anything. But no, I am not worth $35 million.
How do you listen to your employees?
I didn't understand that question. I saw that question.
How do you listen?
How do I listen? With my ears?
Well, so one thing I noticed, like if somebody does come to you with something important and you get that sensation.
What kind of sensation we talking about?
You do this. Oh, like you don't do this like for real, but it's like, oh, this is serious.
Yeah.
And you put your phone down and you
all right, we got to talk about this.
Yeah, and you sit there and you do you make eye contact and you listen.
Very make.
Because there's sometimes if it's not like that.
Oh, I'll be multitasking.
Yeah, you're like, I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then because you're doing so many things at once. But if there is something serious that needs to be talked about, addressed, or whatever, you do shut the door. And
I mean, I think for the most part, I like to think I'm approachable, but I don't think I'm very approachable. I think I scare some people. I don't mean to.
It's not intentional, and it's not.
Yeah.
You don't directly.
But if you come to me with a problem, or you come to me with you screwed up, like I don't think I've ever shouted at anyone.
No.
Not in a joking way. Like oftentimes I'm like, just what the F me?
Passionate, right?
Yeah.
Your intensity might get up a little bit,
Yeah, but you're not. I'm not directing it towards that person, no. and I don't hold a grudge either. So
I think approaching you is something that takes, it's like a learned thing.
Time.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah.
Because I remember I'd stutter every time you'd walk into the store.
Bro,
it's okay.
Relax.
Yeah, I'd freak out.
That's so funny.
It's just because I think the way, what you expect out of yourself is the best. It's 100% plus, right? Everything that you have, and everybody sees it, right?
So they think I expect that of them,
right? So then naturally the pressure comes on ourselves.
This is why my wife says I'm hard to live with.
Yeah, so like we walk around with the pressure to keep up with that.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so then coming to you with something gets difficult once you start to do it a couple times, you realize it's easy.
Yeah,
but the first couple times, definitely,
I totally get that.
Tough. All right. What's something that keeps you up at night as a business owner?
Whew.
Got some business questions.
What we do joke about it. Like, what's the lawsuit this week? Right. In this industry, there's just a lot of BS. Like, I mean, I can name, and I probably have on this podcast before, named 5 different types of lawsuits that are truly phishing are just complete bullshit. But it's just ambulance chasers that you need to pay to go away because that's their whole business model is on going after some stupid niche law that might not even have been made to apply to you, and you might be right, but you still don't want to be distracted by that, going down that rabbit hole and this expense of defending yourself, right? Because that would be greater than just paying the person $5,000 and going away, right? That just pisses me off. It's such a distraction. So I don't know if those, I would say when those first happened, they would keep me up because I'd be thinking about them. Now it's just, I realize they're just part of the business.
You said this industry. Do you think it's got to be other industries that deal with it as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will say, and again, I'm going back to Jim Collins here. It's having that healthy level of paranoia that you aren't doing enough, and that your fear of failure or your fear of all the good stuff that's happening currently, what is it that just goes away tomorrow?
Your fear of failure.
Yeah, or your fear of decline or something like that. So it's a healthy level of paranoia that, it's great right now. Business is great, right? I would say right now with the way the economy is, I feel like we're doing everything we can do, right? And we're growing nicely. But it's just like at some point in time, the average American who might even be have the expendable income to buy supplements, there might be a point when gas is $10 a gallon. Well, what does that mean for our transportation, our costs? Can't raise our price too much higher, because if you raise it too much higher, then they're definitely not buying it, right? At that point in time, that's a very difficult thing. That doesn't really keep me up. That is what it is. Right. I do, I said it to we were on vacation last week and my father was there, and I said to him, we've always been in a position of shooting for more, right? And you should be, right? You should always be trying to grow and doing all that thing. But we might be in a period of time in this world that until this administration is gone, and not just the House and the Senate, right? But the executive branch as well. Because no matter what, the House and Senate, he still has veto power and all that, can do executive orders and all that bull crap. So we're talking 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Maybe it's, hey, it's kind of like push as much as you can, but be smart about it and realize the world economy, the country's economy, because of really stupid policy decisions, which aren't going to change until they're voted out of office, are going to be around for 2.5 years. So if you have a period of time in your company's history where for these 2.5 years, maybe we don't add 20 employees, maybe we don't hit our sales goals where we want to be, but we're still growing nicely and making good progress and building our culture and setting ourselves up for when the floodgates open again. I would be okay with that. Right? That sucks because it's just not my mentality.
Yeah.
But in this world, man, I'm telling you, there's probably a lot of companies that will not be around in 2.5 years.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happens. So with that, during this time where you feel like there's a lack of, I guess the term is lack of push, because you're trying to maintain more during a difficult time, difficult season, are you thinking of other ways or outside the box ways to add revenue to things? Because we're not a one-way machine.
Potentially.
Really.
On the retail side, we're thinking about that. We're thinking about some other things that we could do. That includes more in the gym business than just a plain retail business, and we're pursuing that. Going back to what I was saying before, sometimes two of the first stages of decline of a company, one is hubris, meaning that luck might have got you there, but you think you're so good that you can touch anything. And what happens is there's overreaching that occurs there. Just because you might have the hot athlete of the moment doesn't mean you should. I'm trying to relate it to this company, to this industry. just because you have the hot brand or the hot athlete of the moment and you sell pre-workouts doesn't mean you don't, but it doesn't mean necessarily you should do an energy drink. You should do a protein bar. You should do an RTD. You should do
the same thing.
It doesn't mean that you do that, because then you start thinking that just because you had one success, it means you have others. So it's where hubris gets in the way, and it's companies that don't have that healthy level of what I was talking about before, the healthy level of, what was the word I used? Like concern for the future, right? Like a healthy level of paranoia, right? When your hubris outweighs that healthy level of paranoia, that's stage one. That's stage one of decline, because you might continue to go, but that is just stage one. You can turn it around from that. But then if you just start going huge on these other projects and throwing $1 million at that and $1 million at this one and $1 million at that one, then you split up all these things and they might not be winners. Especially with the industry like an energy drink or a protein bar. Like, what if you run $1 million of protein bars and they end up turning out like shit?
Yeah.
Like, no one likes them because the manufacturing was different, right? So, like, that goes back to shooting bullets rather than cannonballs. But when your hubris outweighs your healthy level of paranoia, you don't think that way. You're just thinking to the moon. So, I don't know how we got on that topic, but it's very relevant.
It was about not a one track. Thinking outside the box, come in a time where it's getting a little bit more like a let's maintain instead of like take on these risks.
Which is funny we say that, but like we're growing in all aspects, and we're definitely not holding back, especially with the Vitamin Shop launch and everything else we're doing. But my point when I was having that conversation with my dad is like, I would be okay if that's what we had to do.
Right. Yeah.
But which is scary because we are pushing in a time where.
Well, we did that in 2020, right?
We did, and it worked for us then.
Right.
So. Somebody asked how long you guys going to rock the mullets. I was actually thinking of transforming it a little bit, but then sometimes I look in the mirror and I catch the right light, and I'm just like, man,
I laugh.
I like that mullet. My boys like the mullet. Like they wanted to start
want a
growing.
mullet?
They wanted to start growing. I said, why don't you guys start off with some like faux hawks or something? I was
went
like,
to the
maybe I'll
bathroom.
shave it into a faux hawk.
Just went to the bathroom before we got on the podcast,
And you're like flipping your hair?
I start laughing. Like,
Yeah.
Who am I?
Yeah.
I went to the pediatrician yesterday. I think so. No, I don't know. Monday? I don't know what day it is. And the nurse asked if I was going to keep the mullet until he has a mullet. And I was like, I think that was the plan. So,
But he came out with hair. Is he losing his hair now?
No, dude, full head of hair.
Full head of hair?
Yes.
Dude, just shave that up. Get it done.
Start cutting on the side.
Yeah, just leave a little rat tail.
No, I think we're going to let that thing go for a while.
Yeah.
And then it'd be easier.
Yeah.
But I do need to trim up. I'm starting
It's
to get
long, bro. You got some flow on the top, too. See, I just can't deal with it too much on the top.
It's weird because you start shedding. Like, you get out of the shower and you...
Oh, there's a lot. Yeah.
It's just there's
Got to
hair.
use conditioner and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Dr. Squatch.
Sasquatch?
Yeah.
I got some other man stuff. I
Man
forget what it's
stuff.
called. Got me
Yeah.
some man stuff.
All right. Where are we at? How many we got? We got like 10 more minutes?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. What is moving products in today's industry? Is it culture? Is it price? Is it gimmicks? Carl the Cuck Frady wants to know.
That's a good question. Well, that goes back
I was going to kind of ask that with the culture thing.
Well, that goes back to what we're saying, because he's big on leaning into the culture, right, to sell product. Don't necessarily lean into finding a collab or finding or whatever. It's more the culture.
We never have really sold with price and gimmicks. Ever.
No.
And it goes back to your core values.
But I think the question was asking, in the industry, what do you see moving?
That is the question.
Right? And I don't think I would call a collaboration, which seems to be moving, right? Like Ghost is does really well with their collaborations. You see Rise doing well with their collaboration. Well, I don't know. I don't see their numbers, right? But you think, do you think they're doing
doing multiple.
Yeah, they're doing multiple, so it must be doing a good thing. So, like, I don't know if I would call that a gimmick, and I don't know if Carl was implying that. But I will say that I think collabs can be interesting when they're authentic, right? Like if it makes sense for the brand, I think they can be great. But I do love the idea of standing as your own brand and not building. Listen, let me back up first. So like, if it's going to grow your business, whatever. I'm not trying to be like holier than thou here, that like, I will not do a collab because I got to build my own brand.
Yeah.
Right. But there is something to be said for selling product and growing your brand based on the merits of your own product and your own name versus building it on somebody else's hard work and brand name recognition. Right. So I think there is some value there, right, for a long term. So for example, we were talking about the other day. I mean, like Ghost Energy is doing really well, right? Like they make a great product. It's a good energy drink. But their collabs right now, at least through like distribution channels, are selling like 100 to 1 versus their other ones.
Yeah.
So like making sure that, which, at the end of the day, like I said, it's not holier than that's awesome. Like, listen, that's great because they're moving a ton of product. But it's also would be good to be moving some of your non-collab product as well, right? So it's just something.
But it's also a little bit of that is what the consumers seem to be demanding.
Right. And so that's why.
And that's what the buyers are paying attention to. And if you don't have really a collab, then you might not be getting picked up.
That's exactly right. And so and I don't think it's necessarily, I don't think it's a gimmick. So I don't know if he was implying that collabs are gimmicks because I don't think they are. I mean, we
gimmick more like a scam or like a.
We have gone down the route, and there were certain collabs that we've so far turned down, right? Like we could have had certain licensing deals that we decided not to do because they were not authentic to what we were doing. And we're still in conversations with different companies about collabs, but they have to be right, for us. So I don't think it's a gimmick, and I think if the consumer is demanding that, then that's great. And that's what right now seems to be the consumer is demanding. It's, people vote with their dollars, right? So like if the collabs are selling like that, that's great. I do like the idea of being able to flavor so well without the help of an outside license that your flavors are on point regardless. Like, so you're going to want to have your non-branded flavors just as much as your other ones.
Right.
So,
all right. Couple more. Let's do some ingredient stuff. So, why the heavy dose of GBB and longevity? So we're launching
in a short. So, on my YouTube page, Dave just put up a video where he breaks down longevity. So I'm not going to go into detail here, but bottom line, GBB, like it's a carnitine precursor. Longevity's product is all about mitochondrial health, and there's a lot of studies showing that like mitochondrial health or decline of mitochondrial health is a big driver of aging, right? So keeping your mitochondrial health high, which also is very much involved in fatty acid metabolism as well, which is what carnitine will help do, is shuttle fatty acids to mitochondria to break it down. So having a high dose of GBB is going to be helpful in that regard. So it's all about mitochondrial health, and then fatty acid metabolism, which helps with all of that. Helps with aging, helps with fat loss, it helps with a lot of things. So.
Okay. And I feel like we have to answer this. Are all the core products safe to take for natural athletes that compete in natural organization?
Depends on the organization.
Here
we go.
Can prevent forest fires. You are responsible as the athlete to know and understand the banned substance list of the organization that you're competing in.
And if you don't know, don't take a product.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like if you compete in OCB, anything that we have is fine, right? But if you are if you're competing in an organization that is WADA tested, Core Alpha and 5-AT will not be allowed.
Correct.
So those are the two that you would want to be aware of.
Not that they are steroids.
Not that they're steroids, not that they're bad, not that they're pro hormones or any of that crap. It's just it has to do with a WADA list that in my opinion is not designed for natural bodybuilding.
Right.
And so like I do like how the OCB, IPE, whatever they're called these days, how they don't just take a cut and dry approach to that. I don't know. Maybe we should check that. I haven't checked their updated band.
Honestly, I mean, 2019.
Yeah, maybe they did go to WADA. I don't know, but
I don't think they did.
But so I'll just make the disclaimer. So if you're being tested by WADA standards, Core Alpha and 5AT are not allowed. But it's your responsibility.
It's your responsibility. You're not responsible. Do not put this on us.
Badger Milk Protein collab with Rob Schneider.
What's that movie?
No sure.
What's that movie? Where he drinks badger milk.
I don't know. Protein bar coming soon, Doug. Yes. Actually, they just arrived. Were you holding your mouth?
No, I was holding my headphones.
Or what?
I start doing this and they start coming off.
We just had a truckload arrive today. The finished product is here. It is better than we expected. And I think the foundation bar, so this is an arms race bar, game changer is a term that I hate that people hate that they say that they hate the term game changer, but I feel like it's a game changer.
I haven't heard that one. Is that the new?
I hate to use the term game changer.
Is that the new buzzword?
No, but it's like one of those things that's just like
it's the best.
There is no best. Well, and I hate the word game changer. Well, I hate that you hate the word game changer, and I hate it. No, I'm just. But anyways, I think it's a game changer. It's delicious. The texture is perfect. You feel like you're eating something substantial. It's not just a copycat bar of everything else that is on the market. It's unique. 3 different types of protein. There's no soy in it. Texture's on point. Flavor's on point. We got a bunch of other ones in the works. It's awesome. We're dropping the cinnamon crunch cereal and the chocolate puff cereal August
15th?
8th. We moved it up.
Oh.
No, August 15th. You're right. It's August 15th.
I thought we wanted more juice
time. But
we need juice time.
We are opening it to the ambassadors on Monday.
That's what it is.
August 1st. So if you are an ambassador, you're going to get a secret link on August 1st. Secret. So you can buy the bars ahead of time. Have them 2 weeks before everyone else.
Look at that perk.
It's good.
Man.
It's good.
I think we should wrap it up. I got to get on another call.
Anything else? Any other rapid fires?
Joel Bate wants to have my baby. Or
too late.
I don't know what he said. Somebody asked, how are you balancing training with a newborn?
You're doing those garage zombie style workouts.
Yeah, I did some garage workouts. And then now I'm coming in here. I'm just trying to be flexible with myself.
Yeah.
Yesterday I did so I'm trying to do Murph once a week, a version of Murph.
Did you do Murph yesterday?
I did a sprint. I did a half-mile sprint, and then I did a superset of 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 squats for 10 sets, in a row, no rest. And then I ran another half mile. And then I felt like it took me 19 minutes. So I felt like, that way.
Wait, so it was five push-ups, 5 pull-ups?
So a Murph is a mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200
pull-ups, isn't it?
100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, then a mile run. Dude, a mile run after 300 air squats is a
do you get a lot of blood in you?
Yeah, totally. And I do them in sets of 50. So
where do you put your hands when you're? What do I do with my hands?
I kind of it changes.
Is it like this? Is it like this?
Sometimes you're doing the slow momentum thing. It's like I don't know what I'm doing.
Can you get that? Can you get that screenshot? Get up. Hold on, here. There's our screenshot. Come on, get up.
So hold on. So it's down like this, and then it's like this, like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So, anyways, I did that, and then I just realized.
So, what was your half-mile sprint? That was a good time.
I just did it on the treadmill with 7.5 minute pace.
2 minutes.
3.25. No, 3.5. I don't know.
3:45.
3:45. Yeah, whatever the treadmill did.
It would be half of what a 7:30
yeah,
mile.
3.25. So yeah, just trying I'm trying to be flexible.
Trying to be Murphy.
Yeah.
So you did that at the end of your workout?
No, I just did that as my workout. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, so you felt like you needed.
So if I don't know, I just make something up that I can get.
Wait, so
done.
what? You did 5 push-ups, 5 pull-ups,
5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 squats, and I did that in a row, 10 sets.
Oh, 10?
Because that's half of what the amount. It was like a half Murph.
Oh, it was a half Murph. Okay,
so I'm trying to increase my. The first one I did was 59 minutes, which was
And what
really
did
bad.
you do this one in 19? Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but I hadn't. Yeah, so I'm gonna do it next week. I'm trying to
Full
do it
Murph.
next week. Full Murph, yeah, with a plate carrier and everything. So yeah,
Oh, that's why you got to do a plate carrier.
yeah, you gotta be heavier.
Why don't you do, like, once you stagger and now you did a half Murph, no plate carrier, why don't you do a full Murph and then do a full Murph with a plate carrier?
I did a full Murph last week.
Oh, so you backed off this week?
Yeah, I'm trying to do a version of the Murph every week.
Okay.
And that's what
A version of Murph?
A virgin.
Back to the virgins.
Like a virgin.
All right, I think that's it, dude.
Touch for the very first time.
I can't
I wish
wait.
POV was on the camera.
I can't. What are you doing? What was that, bro?
Every time we get some behind the scenes weird dance from POV.
Show the people the dance.
Like a virgin.
All right, so
I gotta get on another call.
we gotta do another call or something.
It's
Anyways,
2:30.
It's 2:30. Until next time, guys, keep crushing it.